What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're covering some more r/am I the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below, but if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too, because it really helps out our channel. It really does. Now, yesterday we did have a new member on the channel. We had M. Jefferson. Thank you so much for your support and joining us. It really does mean the world, and you can too if you want to, but absolutely no pressure to do so by clicking that join button down below for YouTube or the link in the description for Patreon. It is very much appreciated, but let's not forget, so is the time out of your day for just coming here, chilling, and watching a story or two means the absolute world. So thank you so much, and let's crack on with today's stories. Much love, guys. And our first story comes from Zealous Ideal Kick. Am I the arsehole for yelling at my brother for cheating while he was finally accepting his sexuality? My brother, male 30, and me, 38 male, grew up in a very religious household. My father was all about good Christian family values, and yet, ironically, he cheated on my mum all the time and he expected for us to accept it. I hated his guts, but my brother always tried to please him, to have his approval. When he was a teen, we shared a desktop computer, and he sometimes forgot to delete his browser history. I noticed he went to many gay support sites, so I thought he might be into guys. I never asked because A, it was his choice to tell me when he was ready, and B, I didn't care. He was my brother and I love him. I understood why he would keep it quiet though. If he came out when we were living with our father, I knew shit would hit the fan. Years passed and he didn't come out even after losing contact with our dad. I thought that maybe he was just exploring his sexuality back then, or he was bi or whatever, because he got a girlfriend and married her 5 years ago. This girl, let's call her Julie, is an angel. She got along with everyone and she became fast friends with my wife, who sees her as a little sister of sorts. I owe her a lot because she was instrumental into making my wife accept she needed help after going through a terrible postpartum depression. Fast forward to this week, Julie called us sobbing and tell us my brother is cheating on her and that his lover is a male friend from his work. This has been going on for 3 years or so. I went ballistic and I called him. I told him that he was doing the same thing to Julie as our father did to our mum. My brother then tells me he was struggling with accepting he was gay all this time and that I should be more understanding. He accused me then that I was so mad because he was gay and implied I was low-key discriminating him. I told him that cheating is cheating and that Julie doesn't deserve this. We haven't talked in days and I'm starting to feel guilty. Maybe I should have been more tactful. I don't know. I just feel that cheating doesn't have a free pass at all. People in Reddit, am I the arsehole? I think it's pretty much what OP says in this situation. It's not about being gay and brother accepting him being gay or anything like that. It's about the cheating aspect. He obviously has big scars from this, from when he was a lot younger and his dad doing the same to his family and doing this. So yeah, I don't think it's about being gay at all in this situation. It's more about the actual cheating, which, you know, is just unforgivable. And we do have a small little update paragraph on this one as well, which we'll cover after a couple of the comments. So Facepalm Wall says, not the arsehole, my uncle did this to my aunt. Once they separated, he moved his boyfriend into the house they were still sharing because my uncle's spending had made them land rich and money poor. My uncle is an arsehole, not because he's gay, but because he cheated on his wife for years, instead of filing for divorce and expected everyone to be cool with it because he was finally embracing his sexuality. And my username is this says, not the arsehole. It's not about who he cheated with or what gender he's into, it's about being unfaithful to his wife. And my Redditor name says, not the arsehole, cheating is cheating no matter your justification. You didn't get upset because he was gay, you got upset because his wife called you crying that she had been cheated on. If he needed to explore his sexuality, fine, it happens. There are a lot of men who get married either denying or not realizing they are actually gay, but he needed to end his current relationship before starting a new one. And 3 years, that's an extremely long time to just be exploring. Your brother is definitely the arsehole. And Gavinator 4002 says, not the arsehole, as you said, cheating is cheating. And the update says, update, I sent him a lengthy email talking about how I suspected he was gay all this time and that I was sorry he felt he couldn't trust me. I explained to him that I didn't care about his sexual orientation and that if I was mad, it was because he cheated, nothing else. I told him I thought that his behaviour toward Julie was reprehensible, not his preferences. I said he needed to apologise and be responsible of his actions. Maybe go to counselling with her so she could get closure. I don't know. Whatever he can do, some good to her, it will be the right thing to do at this point. And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation, and what would you do in it? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story is from Puzzle-Headed Map. Am I the arsehole for telling my daughter it's her fault she has no pictures of herself? Okay, so I, 54 female, have 5 kids, 3 bio, 2 step. The issue is with my eldest, Clem, who is 26 female. The only pictures I have of Clem are from the day she was born to around her 8th birthday, but none after that. She would ruin any pictures she was in by making funny faces, hiding from the camera, making weird signs with her hands, or by messing with other people. It was like this until she was 12, when she started to straight up refuse. We would tell her to come for the family photo, but she would refuse. We never forced her, but would gently encourage her. She even refused school pictures. I have no pictures of birthdays, graduations, prom photos, holidays, or days out with her in them. It broke my heart because I don't have any pictures of her growing up. Family photos look odd because she's not in them. Clem is 26 now and is pregnant with her first child. She brought her SO over for dinner, and after, we were looking at our photo albums. We got to hers and saw hers was nearly empty. She asked where all her pictures were, and I told her she refused to have any taken. She got all teary-eyed and told me to stop joking. At this point, I'm very annoyed. I tell her I'm not joking and that she did this to herself. I told her if she had swallowed her pride and had even one picture, we wouldn't be like this today. She got angry and thought I had printed out the one she had messed up. She got super upset and went to sit in the car. The next day, today, I got a few texts from family members calling me an arsehole for putting her on blast and humiliating her. Am I the arsehole? Edit. Thank you all for your replies. I do want to clear something up. Whilst I agree it was shitty move to not include the goofy or rude pictures, that's not what Clem has an issue with. She's upset that I have no pictures of her from age 12 to 18 to fill the album with, and the few I do have caused extreme reactions from Clem. I can't fill an album with pictures I never took. That's what she's upset about, not the omission of goofy/rude photos. Edit 2. To those of you who are saying, who cares about rude gestures or goofy faces? I didn't realise this needed saying, but the family photos weren't just for me, they were for everyone involved. Aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, on all sides, etc. I can guarantee none of them want an 8-year-old making the eat out gesture in what is meant to be their nice family photo. Edit 3. It's kinda sad to see so many people assume that because a child has anxiety that I berate them whenever they mess around when taking a photo. I never yelled at Clem for making silly faces, would simply encourage her to stop and smile, but her rude gestures and faces would ramp up. But I guess that's what you expect on this sub. Everyone hates their kids. I kind of think in this situation you was kind of damned if you did, damned if you didn't. I mean, if you forced her into these photos and like telling her to smile and that sort of stuff, you'd get damned because, you know, you're forcing a child to do something that they don't want to do and you'll be causing anxiety in that way. But you're also damned because you didn't include some of the goofy photos and stuff like that. It's kind of a difficult one for me. I don't think you are the arsehole in this situation to me though. I think maybe you could have included a couple of the goofy ones in there and that kind of stuff because, you know, there's nothing wrong with a goofy photo, but I do understand that you don't want her doing that in every single one of your family photos at the same time. Tricky one, but let's check out some of the comments to see what they say. An individual ad says, not the arsehole, but why not just give her the old negatives that you did not print so she can see for herself? And Opie replies, that's a good idea. They're on my computer, so it's not like I deleted all the photos of her. The issue was that she made some rude gestures or poses in many of them, which I am obviously not comfortable putting on the wall. She does know that she messed up pictures with her gestures and poses, and she obviously can't forget about her aversion to cameras, so I don't know why she was so surprised. Consistent Leopard says, info, how is this just now coming up? Are you saying there are family photos hanging in your home that you do not include of your daughter? Is she really just looking at this photo album for the first time at 26 years old? And OP quotes that and says, yes, none of the family photos include my daughter unless they are taken before she turned 8. And quotes again saying, is she just looking at this photo album for the first time in 26 years old? And she says yes and no. We would bring them out at Christmas and stuff, but she would always cringe, saying she doesn't care and went to her room. I told her previously that our album is pretty scarce, but I guess she wasn't aware to the scale. And 420 says, everyone sucks here. If all the details are here and I've got this right, then she's the arsehole for getting mad at you for something she did, but you're also the arsehole for not printing off the goofy ones. And Hey Lamas says, not the arsehole, you were respecting her wishes as a child. You clearly saw she was uncomfortable taking photos and going out of her way to photobomb the picture by making faces or hiding away before completely refusing. She made her bed and now it's hard to lie down in it. It would have been worse to force her to take photos and have an album full of angry/crying faces. And Tayberry says, not the arsehole, you respected her wishes as a kid, and this is where you'll ended up now. You can't do anything about that, but I would show her the candid photos and ask her if she's fine with that, and if she is, print out and use those. Definitely at least show her them first and see how she reacts though. And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation, and how would you deal with it? I think it's a kind of a tricky one in my opinion, but I don't know, I might be totally wrong there. Let me know in the comments below. And our next story comes from Few Ad. Am I the arsehole for getting a room every beach house visit because of having kids? First, using a throwaway. Also non-native English speaker, so I apologise in advance for any mistakes. On mobile. So this is a conflict going back about 8 years that's just flared up again. My parents, female 65 and male 68, have a beach house with 3 bedrooms. The smallest is theirs and have only a double bed. The other 2 rooms are a bit bigger and they each have 1 double bed and a bunk bed, so sleeping room for 4 people. When me, female 29, and my siblings Adam, male 32, Eric, male 27, and Sarah, female 25, were kids, we would have 1 room for me and my sister and 1 room for my brothers. When we got older and got partners, we started a rotation system so that 2 couples would share a room while 1 couple got a room for themselves and the last couple would sleep on the pull-out sofa in the living room. It's important to note that this is what we all wanted, as then we would all get 1 stay in every 3 to have some privacy. The system worked great until 8 years ago, when Adam and his wife got a baby boy, and whenever we stayed at the beach house they would get a room for themselves, for obvious reasons. So then the remaining couples would rotate between the last room and the living room, and no one got a room all alone. Then I got pregnant with twins, they are now 6, and so me and my husband and the twins would use the other room, and the 2 last couples would sleep in the living room, 1 on the couch and the other on camping beds. Since then, Adam and his wife have got another boy, now 4, and I have a 3-year-old girl. Obviously, this didn't make Eric and Sarah too happy, but Eric and his girlfriend was understanding. Sarah was not. She was pretty happy and would argue about this every time, and we all understood she was upset, so we tried suggesting things like not all of us going at the same time, but she didn't want that. She wanted everyone there like we have always done. We tried suggesting renting a camper or something like that, but again she refused. She only wanted a private room every 3 trips, which again is understandable, but babies need more sleep than adults, and having them sleep in the living room would mean it would have to be quiet there from like 7, and that wasn't an option either. Anyway, when my youngest turned 2, that would be me, husband, Adam and his wife, started having all the kids in 1 room and rotating one of the 4 of us sleeping there too. The rest would sleep in the living room and let Eric and his girlfriend and Sarah and her boyfriend have the other room every other visit. That worked great up until now, when Eric just announced that they are expecting a baby in September, and Sarah lost it. She screamed and cursed and accused us all of actively keeping her from getting a fair share of the rooms, and it was unfair of us to be getting rooms just because we have kids. This went on for days and she's still pissed, and the rest of us are really starting to feel awful. Are we the arseholes here? Edit. I realise I need to clarify some things. Number 1, like I said, the last year things have been going great because my sister has been getting a room. The problem arises again now because my brother is having a baby, and this summer he and his girlfriend got into the whole sleeping in a hammock outside thing, and obviously can't do that with a baby. 2, the situation with us all up there only happens in the summer, usually for 1 week and 1 weekend a month or so later. This is where things went well last summer because my sister got a room and my brother slept in his hammock. 3, the rest of the year they usually invite us 2 siblings at a time, so each family gets a room, usually 6 weekends a year. The problem here is that my sister shows up on the weekends, me and my brother are invited, because she doesn't want to be left out, as she says. 4, my parents won't sell the house as it's an old family house. Me and my husband is looking for houses nearby to buy, but it's going slow. Seeing as there's not a lot of houses around, it's a bit remote. 5, the nearest hotel is 35 minutes away, again kinda a remote place, that's why we don't stay there, hence the camper suggestion. I'm not sure how many people was in that 3-bedroom house, but there's just way too many. And I'm just going to go with everyone sucks here just because of that. Come on, you guys must realize. I know Sarah may be upset and she may want everyone there, but it's just not going to work. There's far too many people there for it to be comfy. I'd be stressed the hell out in that sort of space with people. That many kids too. Hell no, thank you. But typical Aquarius says everyone sucks here for not realizing 12, if I counted that right, including the baby on the way. 12, wow. People, it's just a lot in a 3-bedroom beach house. If it were my family, everyone would be chipping in for a nice hotel room for grandma and grandpa, and each family would get a bedroom. And Ellen Wint says, not the arsehole. I kind of sympathise with Sarah a little until she claimed you and your brothers having lives and babies was all some part of your plan to actively keep her from getting a fair share of the rooms. I love that bit. The fact that her response to her brother having his baby is to be pissed over a bedroom in her parents' beach house is too much entitlement for me. You all have offered plenty of alternative arrangements. She doesn't want to be accommodated. She wants a private bedroom in mummy and daddy's beach house, just like when everyone was young and childless. But people grow and have families, and things can't stay the same forever. If she has a problem not getting a private bedroom for free at a beach house that doesn't belong to her, she doesn't have to go. Yeah, and I'm not disregarding Sarah's entitlement, because some of it was absolutely entitled, but still I think it's just way too many people for a 3-bedroom place. But Discbin says it's just not a workable plan anymore. Clearly the house isn't big enough for all of you. Next time, split the cost of a vacation house big enough for all of you, including your parents. It's time they got a free vacation. And Silver Kitty says, everyone sucks here. This house is way too small for this many people, and having to be the person who sleeps on a pull-out sofa in the living room every single night of a vacation with no privacy sucks. She's not handling this communication well, but this situation is untenable. And Bored Again says, the idea of going to a beach house with that many people is enough to make me pull my hair out. Everyone sucks here for forcing a couple without kids to not have a room 100% of the time is a dick move. Why is everyone going together? Why can't they rotate who gets a hotel for the night and spends the day during a beach house to make it fair? And now I turn it to you guys. What would you do in this situation? Would you go to that beach house with that many people? 12 people in a 3-bedroom place? You wouldn't see me there. I'd be in the hotel, that's for sure. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And our next story comes from Clifford B. Am I the arsehole for taking in a pregnant dog that my brother abandoned a day before it gave birth? And as a result, my roommate has to unexpectedly deal with the dog and puppies. My 25 male brother, 30 male, is a drug addict who always ditches his pets with family members when they get too troublesome. He's never done it to me before though. Roommate and I live in a 2-bed that's not really suitable for pets. Tuesday, my brother drops by unexpectedly with his dog and ditched the dog with me. I don't have pets. I argued with him, but he just goes. It was about 8 o'clock at this point, and I had no idea she was pregnant, so I said I'd look after her for a day. The dog was relatively friendly, and my housemate was out of town until Thursday, so I figured I could just deal for one night. Dog gave birth to 9 puppies over the next night. Completely shocked, it was horrendous. I woke up to an extremely upset dog, screaming puppies, blood all over the place from the birth. I called a bunch of places, but they all said they wouldn't take the dog in active labour. I did my best with the puppies after googling what kind of nest I should build. Puppies are so useless they can't even regulate their own body temperature. I had to spend nearly $100 on lamps, blankets, rug, etc. Plus time I spent cleaning and disinfecting from the fucking crime scene that the birth caused. I am not a dog person. There is dog shit everywhere and my house smells like 10 fucking dogs all the time and the puppies constantly scream. They do not stop screaming. I've been taking time off because according to the internet, there's a chance the mum dog will eat some of the puppies if we leave her alone. There's absolute monstrosity of the animal. The mother dog is constantly hungry, obviously from having to tit feed 9 fucking puppies, so I am buying food for her. Roommate came back on Thursday, immediately went insane, told him that I had not planned this, but it didn't help. I told him I also want the dogs gone and what had happened. He made ultimatums for me to kick the dogs out onto the street if I can't find a shelter today. I asked him what right he has to be so angry at me, rather than my brother or at least the dog for having so many fucking puppies, and he says I shouldn't have let my brother in the house if he's done this before. I should have known the dog was pregnant or asked my brother if the dog was pregnant. Who asks that? I shouldn't have let the dog stay for even one night. He won't stop cursing at me every time we cross paths. Every night, if he gets woken up by the puppy's weird screaming noises, he knocks on my door and demands I shut them up. If there's any shit anywhere in the house, he grabs it with a hand towel and smears it on my door / near the entry to my bedroom, saying it's my mess. What the fuck? Am I the arsehole here, Reddit? And as a side note, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this many dogs? Now, this is an absolute mess. I mean, your roommate is an absolute smearing shit on the walls. I mean, what the hell? It's just crazy level behavior, so I'd want to get out of that place anyway, for one. And I feel kind of bad calling Opie an arsehole for taking in a dog, you know, that could have been abandoned anywhere in the end. So, you know, there is potential that he's possibly saved this dog in some ways, because the brother may have just dumped the dog on the street, being pregnant, and that, you know, the puppies might have passed away, the mother dog may have passed away. So I'm having real trouble calling him an arsehole for that. But at the same time, you know, you took the dog in, and I don't quite believe you that you can't see a dog is pregnant. I don't know, I may be wrong there again, but whenever I've seen a pregnant dog, it's very, very noticeable. You may not have expected it to give birth that night, but I think it's still pretty noticeable. But I'm just going to go with it, and everyone sucks here, because obviously your brother sucks for obvious reasons. You kind of suck for not getting an animal shelter involved much earlier on. It may have not have been possible, so I may be harsh there. And your roommate sucks because he's a fucking nutcase. But Duo-chan says everyone sucks here. You could have called Animal Control, RSPCA, or whatever animal protection organization, or even a vet the moment your brother ditched the dog with you and you know your apartment isn't suited for pets, or even when things started getting ugly with the birth, or after the birth when you realize you don't know how to handle newborn puppies. You made the worst possible call in that situation by trying to deal with it alone. Your roommate sucks because he's being very petty and infantile. And Lilulay says, you're all arseholes, but you're the least arsehole of the bunch. Your roommate is psycho. Who smears shit on the walls and doors? Psychos. Start calling animal rescues first thing Monday morning. Start now if you can. Call your ASPCA. Put out messages on social media so you and your despicable roommate no longer have to deal with this air quotes horrific animal and her babies. Putting her on the street with her babies would be the worst thing you could do at this point. And Cattrap says, you're the arsehole and you need to get off Reddit and rehome the dogs. That's so unfair to your roommate, who is correct in telling you that you shouldn't have let your brother in the house. I commend you for being a good person and not leaving the dogs outside on the streets, but come on. Get it in gear and get those dogs out of there. It's going on a week. That's just being plain inconsiderate. Not to mention that the dogs aren't even allowed there, as per your comments. And there was a small little update to this post as well, which said, update, I'm having a foster parent pick up the mother dog and puppies tonight. They are driving a few counties over, so it'll be a few hours from now. All puppies still seem healthy. The shelter sent me their credentials, so they seem legit. I threatened to call the police on my roommate if he kept yelling at me and putting shit on my walls and door. He's going to stay with his girlfriend, but he is packing up his stuff, so I assume he isn't coming back. I don't really care if he keeps paying rent. My word. Now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation? Who's the arsehole? Is everyone the arsehole? Let me know in the comments below. Now once again guys, thank you for being here today. I hope you did enjoy today's stories, and if you did, you know what to do. Hit that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. A huge thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Take care guys. Much love.